Some drink, some smoke, some do cocaine. I said, I want y'all to go through here and understand this crowd is not a Muslim crowd. This is us who have a respect for what they've been doing. But I want you to see you will not smell no reefer. You will not see no cocaine on people's nose and chin. And you will not smell no alcohol. Not because we Muslims, we have respect. Some of us can't say it out loud because we're scared. But here, and what did he do? He called for a million-man march on a Monday. He didn't even make it easy for you to slip in here from work and get back on a Monday in October. Didn't know how cold it was going to be or what. That's who we are. The strongest two forces in the history of the planet is the black woman and the black church. The black woman. Who was that woman that had that baby in London the other day? Said, the next king. Oh, king of what? Filth? Oh, she went in the hospital like 6 weeks ago. Said she had morning sickness. For those of us out who have children and know what morning sickness is, you don't go to no hospital for no morning sickness. Morning sickness is that you don't drink enough water, and the only thing the baby has to drink for 9 months in your belly is your urine. And when you don't drink enough water, the baby kicks you. Morning sickness. So what she in the hospital for? She went in there from a drug overdose. You mean NBC didn't know that? CBS? BBC? Come on, y'all. And that nurse, 2 days later, that was there in the hospital, she must have knew something because they killed her and called it suicide. Family values, Queen Elizabeth? Queen Elizabeth make $360 million every 24 hours just interest on her money. And when you black folks understand something, like some of us do, that white ain't a color, white's an attitude. And if you ain't got trillions of dollars in the bank, you can't have the attitude. So that's why these white folks going crazy Obama. Y'all sitting here arguing about Obama this, Obama that. No, we know more about Obama than you do. But one thing changed. Before Obama became president, you had little third grade, ignorant white folks, can't read, can't write, but they say, at least I ain't no nigger. They can't say that now. That's why they're crazy. The one little thing they had to play on, they can't play on it now. And everything. Say anything you want to say about Obama. But one thing cannot change. One thing cannot change. If you are a baby anywhere on this planet that's 5 years old, we're going to give you the first year. But for the last 4 years, the most powerful human being on the planet is a black man. You can't mess with that child. They see it. They see it. A president that don't look like them. And when his second term is over, every 7-year-old child, black and white on this planet for 7 years have seen a black man, the most powerful human being in the world. That will never change. You go around the world and people look at you with a little bit more respect. A little bit more respect. They had nothing to do with it. This is us. This is us. We're the only people in the world that try to solve a problem and don't qualify. My oldest son called me one day. I got 10 of the most brilliant, educated children on the planet. My oldest son called and said, Dad, you got to come to Dallas and help me. I'm hooked to crack. I said, I can't help you, son. I can't help you. He said, Dad, you go all over the world helping people. And let me tell you, I can't help you. I've never smoked a reefer, and your mother drank a beer, so don't call her. I do go all over the world helping people, but son, let's stop playing games. I told you one of the biggest things that interferes with black folks is our emotions. Son, if the doctor today would have told you you had a brain tumor, would you call Pop to come? No. So why are you calling me for this? And why do you black folk think you qualify to turn my brain around after 200 years been damaged? God didn't make no junk. The fact that I tolerate all that cheap song, before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave. Slaves were out in the field singing that, picking cotton. Look at your Baptist hymn books. Most of them songs in there is deaf tunes. You got shoes, I got shoes, all got shoes, got shoes. Once we get to heaven, what you got to do to go to heaven? You got to die. Look at them deaf tunes. How can anybody respect you who will go to war and kill for this thug that will shoot your mama in the back of the head, call it police brutality, while you at the front line, and you come home, go to funeral, and go right back? What kind of fool is you? What kind of fool is you? And then your mamas and daddies stood by and watched that civil rights movement and didn't raise a hand. Didn't raise a hand. I was there. I saw the children. I saw the children get beat. Saw some of them get raped. We didn't talk about that because we didn't want them to use that to kill the movement. I saw the fire hoses. I was there. I've been in that church all over the world, even in Russia, in Hitler. The Jews could run to the church and they were safe. Not in America. We went to the church and they blew the church up and had the bomb went off when it was supposed to. All them children at Sunday school would have been dead. In Birmingham. A bunch of ignorant, redneck cops who was telling us, before I be a slave, I be buried. And they said, we're going to bury you. And y'all think stand your ground is something new because white folks said it. That whole 60 movement was stand your ground. We stood our ground with no guns, no bombs, no secret intelligence thugs. We stood our ground while them haters that wanted to kill us all, and we won. We showed the world how to stand. Y'all upset over this crap. And when are you going to get out of your head that your problem is not no third grade dropout, ignorant white? Since when did they determine public policy? Are you crazy? No, you put it on them because you ain't going to blame it on the folks that really determined. The Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Mellors, the General Motors, the Harvards, the Yale. You ain't going to mess with nobody but some children, but some wimps. Somewhere, when you stop and think, we don't even talk about the Nation of Islam. We know they don't do drugs. Well, no, my son's not into drugs. We smoke, you drink, you dip snuff, Grandma, you chew tobacco. The Muslims don't do none of that. All of us are narcotics. And we don't even call them into churches and say, hey, come in. We'll raise $5,000-$6,000 for you to come in and just teach us how. You didn't leave the neighborhood, so you're right here. So I can't use that as an excuse that y'all don't use it. You know, stand tall. But you feel that it ain't no game. You didn't get that way to try to impress white folks. Somewhere.
Thank you, Lord. Now, so what? Oh. Thank you, bro.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yeah, I mean, that's a very poignant point that you make about the nation. You know what I'm saying? That they got Step 12 programs and, you know, this kind of program. A lot of community, not only in the quote-unquote African-American community, but many communities.
Wait. Let me just stop you there for a minute. Let me stop you a minute. The one thing we need to stop doing is say we live in a community. We've never lived in a community. A community where you control your education, you control your medicine, you control your schools, you control your cops, you control everything's important. You don't control that, okay? You live in a hood, and what is a hood? Is something you put over your head when you're trying to hide something. When they sit and talk of reverse racism, most of us is so out of the loop. We know a black person can't be a racist. Now, white folks will argue you down. And some of y'all say, oh, yeah, no. If I don't like you because you're Jewish or Hungarian or Chinese, that's prejudice. Prejudging.
Right.
Racism is the ability to control your faith and destiny, and one black person in America can control. You can't even control your own faith and destiny. When you black folk get up tomorrow and go anywhere, nothing you do, white folk couldn't stop you. There's white folk can stick that stop sign down in front of your house. They can close your school down. Not a black person, huh? They can condemn your house, huh? And you
eminent domain, they could run through your house.
Did you hear me? But that's because of us. That's because of us. Remember, you live in filth, you become filthy. Do you know how insane it is if all of us fathers and mothers taught our daughters that you have to go to school? The law says I have to have you in school. But remember, there's some folks over there that's been raping little girls all the way through the black neighborhood. So here's what I want to tell you. If you see one of them, be kind. Don't try to run from them. Don't scream and holler. Black folks, do you know how you violate God when you teach a black boy to behave because of a filthy cop? Are you out your mind? You teaching that child to peacefully coexist with filth. You sit at home while that boy is out and worry. Why don't you do something about it? When America got a country they don't sit at home and worry. They go and deal with it, huh? That's what we did in the 60s. We gave you the blueprint. You teach a boy? You call that love, punk? Huh? You call that love? That's a violation of God to teach me to respect. And that's what you teaching them. When you tell your children you got to be twice as smart as a white person, children don't hear what you mean. They hear what you say. And to that child, you tell them they stupid. And you don't even know it because of your ignorance. Huh? My mother didn't know King James was King of England. She didn't know he wrote the book. King James, she didn't know King James was such a weird, strange homosexual. He hated women so bad he killed his mama. And his lover was Lord Buckingham, who Buckingham Palace named after, huh? Oh, yeah. Somewhere, at the civil rights movement, you know what it's like? Black folks, have somebody call your house tonight and say in 5 minutes we're gonna blow your house up. You know what we went through? We couldn't call the police or the sheriff or the FBI because they was probably the ones that made the call. You know what that's like? Do you know while Obama's in the White House, a black man named Jimmy Lee Jackson, who most folks have never heard of, in Anniston, Alabama. He was a deacon of the church, 32 years old.